Today we're going to go over the top 3 biggest mistakes I see people make when they're taking GLP-1 RAs that prevents maximum weight loss. The reason I feel a little bit confident talking about this is because I am the owner of Steel Health and Hormone Center. We're a high volume medical weight loss and hormone replacement therapy clinic located in Pittsburgh. But before we get into the top 3, and this is going to include things for all these weight loss medications, Semaglutide, Tirzepatide, and Retatrutide. If you're from the Midwest, Retatrutide. A quick medical disclaimer: this is not medical advice. This should not be used to treat or diagnose medical conditions. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Now let's get into the number 1 biggest mistake I see people make when taking GLP-1 RAs. Alcohol. It's the elephant in the room. Now, there is some good research to suggest that GLP-1 RAs have the ability to help people with substance abuse disorder, but we're talking about brain chemistry here. It's very nuanced, it's very individualized. Now, I can think of certain patients that, when they start GLP-1 RAs, not only are they eating less, but they also start drinking less. It's like all of their habits kind of quiet. They just don't want it anymore. But there's other people where it might impact their food intake, but it doesn't touch their alcohol intake. So for instance, let's say you start on Semaglutide and you're taking it and your food consumption is going down and down and you are consuming less calories from food, but your alcohol stays high. Well, if that alcohol is enough to push you outside of a calorie deficit, it's just math. You aren't going to lose weight. So then what do? Naturally, you start moving up and up and up. So now your food is getting lower and lower and lower, but your alcohol stays high. That is like a recipe for disaster. You could have like ketoacidosis, you're getting a ton of alcohol and empty calories, sugar. I mean, it's just a terrible thing. So if you're somebody that is dealing with alcoholism, substance abuse disorder, I'm not here to tell you exactly what to do. I'm just here to tell you the experience that you should probably get that under control, because you'll see much, much better results if you can lower your alcohol consumption in addition to lowering your food consumption, because these medications work predominantly and primarily by putting you in an easier to maintain calorie deficit. Now let's get into point 2. The second biggest issue I see has to do with the fact that some people will take this shot and do nothing else. Will you lose weight on that? Yeah, you can do it that way, for sure. We've seen it. We've done it. There's people that come in, they only want to do a shot. They don't want to change how they eat. They don't want to exercise at all. So what's going to happen is, yes, you're going to start lowering your food consumption and you may start to see some weight loss. But as your body gets used to that dose, maybe it's building antibodies, some things start to change in your chemistry where you need to move up. And then you need to move up, and then you need to move up. And before you know it, you might be on the maximum dose and you're still obese. Okay, so what do? Oftentimes people go from Semaglutide to something a little bit stronger, Tirzepatide. Then they get to the max of that dose. Then they may try Retatrutide, and then they get to the maximum of that dose. And then they start mixing and matching all these GLP-1 RAs, and we have no idea what that's going to do. So instead of just relying solely on the medication, and these medications are powerful and I believe in them, and we do a lot of them at Steel Health and Hormone Center, it should be part of a comprehensive plan for your health. So use the GLP-1 RAs as basically a pattern interruption. It's going to quell your hunger, it's going to allow you to quiet the food noise, but just use it as part of a comprehensive plan. Maybe you start exercising, right? Maybe it could be something simple, just start walking. Maybe instead of you just eating the standard American diet, maybe you start packing your lunch to work. So use it as part of a plan that includes some nutritional intervention and hopefully some exercise, because you're going to get way, way more out of it. You're using the medications as a catalyst for change, not as a stand-in for health. Now let's get into part 3. The third biggest mistake I see people make is not giving the medication enough time to reach steady state in your body. So I'm going to take something that's a little bit complicated and make it very, very simple. Think of a medication, any medication, as having a half-life. So that's the time it takes for half of that medication to be out of your body. Now, it's not 2 half-lives and it's completely gone. It's several half-lives, 5, sometimes 6 half-lives. So if we look at Semaglutide, and I'm going off of memory here, I believe the half-life of that medication is 5 days. So let's say it takes 6 half-lives for that medication to basically, that first dose to leave your body, there's still going to be a little bit of the first dose left when you take the second dose. There's going to be a little bit less, but still some of the first dose and the second dose when you take the third dose. And that's why you want to scale it over several weeks. So I believe the protocol typically is 4 weeks and then you bump up. 4 weeks and then you bump up. And again, that has to do with half-lives and steady states. What I see so many people do, and this is just, you do not want to do this. They'll take the first shot. That didn't work. I didn't lose 4 pounds. So then they move up again on the second shot. Now you're putting yourself in a position where you have way more medication in your system than you probably realize. And yeah, that's probably going to work in terms of weight loss, but that's not the right way to do it, because that can also aggregate side effects that you didn't see coming, because you don't realize that some of that first dose is still active in you when you're taking the third and fourth dose. That's the nature of half-lives. So the third biggest mistake I make, in short, is basically people scaling up too fast. Take the recommended dose, work with a qualified medical professional like we have here, steelhealthandhormonecenter.com, if you're interested in working with us with medical weight loss, because you don't want to go too fast, because again, you're going to hit the top end too quickly, or you're going to get side effects that you didn't expect. So that's the third one. So again, guys, I am the owner of a high volume medical weight loss and hormone replacement therapy clinic. These are the key takeaways. Too long didn't read, too long didn't watch. Number 1, get your alcohol consumption under control. Number 2, use the medication as a catalyst for lifestyle change. And number 3, scale up at the appropriate rate. There's no reason to just blast yourself with a ton of medication. Look, if you've learned something, do me a favor, like the video. If you're interested in content like this, don't forget to subscribe. Go on my website if you're interested in becoming a patient, Steel Health and Hormone Center, center spelled re.com. Fill out a contact form. We will be in touch within 24 hours. Again, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.